What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and we are down here today with some hot topics, you guys. So this is going to be the hot topics for the week of August 8th through the 13th, and it says the week's hottest topics, number 48, you guys. So I decided to handwrite my notes today, like I did for the Rouse of Potomac. Can you guys see that? Like, people love my handwriting. Whenever people see my handwriting, they're like, "Oh my God, I love your handwriting." Like, I had one teacher back when I was in school. I think I may have told you guys this story where the woman literally thought that I took someone else's work. She was like, "Gerald, that's my first," like, in school, everybody called me Gerald. She's like, "Gerald, that is not your assignment. Where's your work at?" I'm like, "That's my work." And even my friends were like, "Yeah, that's his. That's how he writes. Don't pull up on the side of me." Oh my God, this man just literally pulled up on the side of me. And I've been sitting here in this spot for about the last fucking hour, and now this man want to pull up on the side of my goddamn car. So where we at? What were we talking about? But yeah, she had me rewrite the shit, and like I said, my friends were telling her, like, "That's Gerald's handwriting." She was like, "No, it's not." And so she literally made me write my name for her 3 different times. I'm like, "You can have me write it however many times you want me to write it. My handwriting is not going to change up." And she's like, "Oh, that is your handwriting." I was like, "I told you that, you dumbass." But let's get into the. It's so uncomfortable with this man, like, literally sitting on the side of my car. I don't know what he's doing. He just literally just pulled up on the side of me. Like, there are so many open spaces in this parking lot, and you pull up on the side of me like this. It really makes me feel so uncomfortable. I'm so uncomfortable. But you guys, before we get into it, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and are not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. Like, this is so uncomfortable. But with that out the way, let's go ahead and get into the week's hot topics. You actually can see his car in my you guys can see the car. Like, literally see the car. Let's talk about the hot topics. Motherfucker. Alright, guys, so first I want to talk about politics, right? So you guys remember last week's hot topics, I told you guys that Andrew Cuomo, you guys remember I told you last week that it came out about those allegations, right, against him. Well, I know one of the women that have accused him of, sexual misconduct. I don't know if she's done the interview or if she's doing an interview. It's either with ABC or it's one of those big stations, ABC, NBC, CBS. One of those big 3, right? So Andrew Cuomo this week. Now remember, last week I was telling you guys that Andrew Cuomo was still denying. I'm like, bruh, at this point you might just want to say, I'm gonna check myself into sex therapy, something like that, instead of denying it, right? So earlier this week, Andrew Cuomo has come out and he said that he will be resigning, I think, in 14 days. Ugh. The Cuomo brothers, you love them, but damn, you got to be able to call shit out when it's fucked up. And Andrew, this is fucked up, right? This is really fucked up. Now, I also want to say, shit, if people are resigning, why doesn't Matt Gaetz resign? We know the allegations against Matt Gaetz, and the thing that, like I said last week, the thing that annoys me is the fucking Republicans. The Republicans are different from the Democrats. The Democrats will call the shit out, whereas the Republicans will just try to cover the shit up, right? They let you know who ran and won the presidency with all those women accusing him, and then, some of the women he's talking about, "Oh, they're too ugly for me to touch." You're too ugly for a dog to touch. Let's be real. So this whole segment right here is gonna be all about politics, right? So let's talk about that nutcase Marjorie Taylor Greene. There is literally something wrong with that ignorant ass woman. I don't know who voted for her. She's got to be in one of them backwoods cities in Georgia, right? Gotta be. Because the woman is a lunatic. Like, her tweets are just insane as hell. Like, there are people that I follow on Twitter, and like, one person, we follow each other. He's actually into Power Rangers, right? But he's tweeted Marjorie Taylor, and I just be seeing some of the outlandish. Now you want to move. I be seeing some of the I just see those outlandish ass tweets that that woman puts out. And like I said, the woman is a true psychopath. She's a nutcase. She's a lunatic. So, Marjorie Taylor Greene finally got what she wanted, right? Because, when who got suspended from Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and all that stuff last year, she was up in arms about it. She was like, they're trying to encroach. I think it's encroach on their First Amendment rights. You guys do know that that doesn't go for social media, right? That doesn't your First Amendment rights are not considered on a social media platform. Like, that's what they've been saying for this whole entire year. Oh, you're infringing on his First Amendment rights. Okay. I think I might want to go read the Constitution again. Go read the Constitution. So, back to this nutcase. So this nutcase finally got her wish, and she was suspended from Twitter, right? So the reason that she's suspended from Twitter is because she's been putting out, but she's been doing it for months. Like I said, Twitter is kind of interesting to me, right? Because my old Twitter, what was it? JB_the_CO. My old Twitter got suspended, right? And I would say some things, but I never said any, they are very particular about what you can and cannot say. But when you see the likes of Marjorie Taylor Greene, you know who, and some of his supporters, they say the most disgusting things on social media. Like, I had someone tell me to go pick cotton once before, and they didn't even suspend that person, but you suspended my whole old Twitter account. And I was really heartbroken and hurt because I had that account since 2011, and I had built that account. I had built that Twitter up, and I was promoting my my videos on that channel. But thankfully, I remembered this one because I had made some other ones after that, and they would quickly take those down. But I finally figured out why they took them down. It's my phone number. When they go to verify my phone number, that's why they would take it down. But yeah, my old Twitter account got deactivated. But then and she's suspended for 1 week. But she's spreading misinformation about the vaccine. Why don't y'all just permanently can her? Idiot. So then let's move on and talk about some more politics, right? Let's talk about these idiot ass governors in this ass backward state that I live in, and also down there in Florida. So let's first talk about Ron DeSantis, right? So both Ron DeSantis and Wheelchair Willie here in Texas, they don't want to impose a mask mandate. I'm like, if you guys are too stupid to realize they don't care about the well-being of their constituents. All they're worried about is money, right? So Ron DeSantis, I don't know if Ron DeSantis has put in an executive order, but I do know what he's doing currently, right? So like I said, he doesn't want to impose a mask mandate. He actually, did a press conference last week and addressed, President Biden. So what he's doing now is, I think the schools down there in Florida are trying to impose, a mask mandate for the kids and for the teachers, right? Well, Ron DeSantis' dumbass is now going one step further, talking about he's going to withhold those people's salaries. I'm like, you are a fucking idiot. Like, you're an idiot, dude. You want to withhold these people's salaries because they want to be safe? I'd rather be safe than sorry. Because let's just say we go to school, we don't have to wear the fucking mask. Somebody comes into the school with COVID or this Delta variant, pass it on to someone. God forbid I get it. But hey, I still have my damn paycheck, but I'm in a hospital bed on a ventilator, deathly ill. Like, how much sense does that fucking make? Then Wheelchair Willie here in Texas, he ain't no better. But I do know that President Biden is looking into ways that he can help those people in Florida get their money. Such a fucking stupid ass move, right? Wheelchair Willie here in Texas, he is the biggest idiot. Texans, when it's time for us to vote that asshole out, we need to show up in droves to vote him the fuck out of the office because he's an idiot. Like, I've never saw someone so truly stupid in my life. There go that man that just parked right beside me a minute ago. He went down here to pick somebody up, but then you park right beside me. Why? Don't make no damn sense. But Wheelchair Willie. So Wheelchair Willie has made an executive order, right? And his executive order is, basically that nobody in Texas can impose a mask mandate. And I think if they impose a mask mandate, I think it's like, they'll be either be fined or I think they'll be sued. One of the two. It's either fined or sued. I can't remember which one it was, right? Well, as of yesterday, a Dallas County judge here, Clay Jenkins, he went ahead and at midnight in certain areas in Dallas County, you have to wear a mask. Like, you have to wear a mask. And then I was looking in the comments section because it was on Facebook where I saw it. I was looking at them comments section and I was just like, oh my God, these people are idiots. One woman said, my body, my choice. I think women who have abortions say the same thing too, but you guys want to throw a whole bitch fit about a damn fetus. Now, I'm not going into the whole discussion about that, but they want to throw a bitch fit about that. And here's my thing when it comes to that. You talking about your body, your choice. It might be your body, your choice, but if you catch it and you pass it on to someone else, they didn't ask for it, right? Like, I'm going to give you guys a good little story, because this is never going to be a story time, because I don't even know how it happened. But this is a short story time. Like, I worked at Hertz from 2015 to I worked at Hertz from 2015 to 2017, right? So this was 2016 when this happened to me. Don't know where it came, don't know how I got it, but I'm pretty positive I got it from Hertz, right? So this was December of, actually no, it was 2015. Was it 2015 when I got the, yeah. It was 2015, no, it was 2016. Well, obviously my mother was still here. It was either 2015 or 2016, no, it was 2016. It was 2016. The end of 2016, like November, December, right? Flu season. So what happened was, one day, I like I said, I don't know how I got the flu. Suffice it to say, I don't know how I got the flu, right? One day I went home from work. I was like, okay, I would go to the gym every night after I got off work. I went to the gym that night, worked out, and I started feeling a little bad. Sir, I'm gonna need you to move the fuck around, because you're driving too slow for me. So, I went to the gym. I started feeling a little bad. I'm like, oh, I think I'm getting a cold. So I went home. I was like, okay. I took some Tylenol and all that stuff, and I was like, okay, maybe this will flush away by the morning. So I woke up the next morning. I was like, oh shit, I feel even worse than I did before. So I took my shower. I was like, maybe after I take my shower, I'll feel better, right? Took my shower to get ready for work. I went to work, and throughout the course of the day, I'm like, oh my God. Like, I was sluggish. Like, I was, my boss was like, why are you going so slow? She was a rude bitch, by the way. Couldn't stand her. She was just looking at me like, Gerald, you're going very slow. I need you to pick up the pace. I told her, I'm like, Kimmy, I don't feel good today. Like, I really don't feel good. I'm like, I need to go home. I told her more than once. I said, I need to go home. I'm like, because there is something wrong with me. Like, I've never felt like this before. Like, I'm very hot. I have the chills. Cause I had chills. I have fever. Feel like it. I have the chills. I'm like, I don't feel good. I'm like, I need to go home. And one of my customers even looked at me. He's like, you don't look that good. He was like, why are you still here? I'm like, because of her. I'm like, I'm here because this nutcase wants me here, right? So then our area manager came over, and I told her, I said, Saida, that's her name, Saida. I'm like, I don't feel good. She was like, what's wrong? I'm like, I don't know. She's like, she asked me, she's like, can you give me like an hour so I can get someone over here just to, replace you? I said, I really can't, but I said, I'll try. She said, okay. I didn't even last a whole hour. She's like, she looked at me, she's like, She's like, you gotta go. She's like, Gerald, go ahead, clock out, go home. I was like, you said stay an hour. She's like, you gotta go. She said, I'm looking at you and you're getting worse. So she said, go home. So I went home and I took my temperature. I'm like, oh shit. My temperature, I had 100 and my temperature was 104. 104, mind you. 104. And this nutcase wanted me to stay at work the whole entire shift. But I have 104. My temperature is 104. So I took a Tylenol and I went to sleep, thinking that hey, maybe when I go to sleep, the Tylenol kick in, I'll sweat it out. Oh, I definitely sweated, but I didn't sweat out that fever. So I called my mom. I was like, Mama, I don't feel good. I'm like, I have a temperature of 104. I'm like, that's not normal, right? She's like, She's like, Jerome, go somewhere. I don't care where you go somewhere. I'm like, there's an urgent care up here, so I'll go there. So I went to the urgent care, and they took my temperature, and they ran some tests on me, and like I said, I had the flu, right? They actually had to keep me. They were gonna keep me for just an hour because they gave me some medicine. They were like, okay, it looked like your fever's going down, but they came back in again. That fever spiked again. That fever was up to 105. They were like, oh no, we cannot let you go home because this fever keeps spiking and it's not going down. So like I said, I got the flu. Don't know where I got the flu from. I know it came from one of them nasty ass customers that came in there. And that's my whole thing. You keep talking about your body, your choice. But like what happened to me, I got the flu from someone that I don't even know. Like only people that I'm around in my normal life is my mother and I was staying with my aunt at the time. They're two older women. They don't go anywhere. And when I would go to the gym, when I go to the gym, I spray the shit down. I don't play no games with that. I spray shit down and I don't get too close to people. That's not how I operate. I don't like that. I like my space. So I knew I got it from somebody from hers. And then the interesting thing was, while that nutcase kept me at work all day, she actually had me pass it on to one of my good friends. He texted me the next day because I had to stay out of work for 2 days. So my friend texted me like, Gerald, you gave me the flu. I'm like, blame that on your boss. I'm like, because I told y'all I want. He said, yeah, you kept saying you weren't feeling good, but she insisted that you stay. So yeah, people, it's not. So to the people that say my body, my choice, it's not just you. It's other people. You can get it, and you could be asymptomatic. And this person may have been asymptomatic to it. Whoever gave it to me could have been asymptomatic to it, or could have been, just recovering from it and still pass it on to me. So yeah, people, it might be your body, your choice, but think about other people who you may come in contact with that you might not even know, and you pass that shit on to them. Just think about that. Think about that. Think about it. That's all I want to say, and we're gonna move on. Damn, I did not mean to go on a tangent with that one, but I had to, because when I saw that bitch say my body, my choice. Sorry, you guys to be rude about that, but it just pissed me off when they say, especially when it comes to COVID. Oh, they say the survival rate is 99.9%. Are you a medical doctor? Who are you getting your information from? You know who, dumbass? Fuck out of here. Oh, when kids get it, it's not that bad. I've saw a lot of cases where kids have gotten it and it's bad, where they're in the hospitals. Go to hell with that shit. Let's move on. Got upset. Alright, you guys, I went off on that tangent so badly that I forgot that that's not even where I want to start the video off at. That was not at all where I wanted to start my video this week. I really want to start my video, but it's a sad note though. But I really want to start my video and say rest in peace to Chucky Thompson. Like, I really wanted to say that, but I went into the politics. But I guess the reason why I did that is because, unfortunately, the politics is the first on the page. But yeah, let's flip over to this page and talk about you. So Chucky Thompson, he passed away earlier this week, right? So I don't necessarily know the cause of death. Now I did hear that it was, he had COVID and he didn't recover from it. If that is the case, then that is really sad. Really, really sad. But yeah, let's go ahead and extend a big rest in peace to Chucky Thompson. Man, you will be missed. You know, the last time we saw Chucky Thompson was on Real Housewives of Potomac when he was working with Candace. And I did see her post a tweet about him. So let's segue from Chucky Thompson real quick. And I do want to talk about Candace real quick, right? Um, so Candace on her social media, on her Instagram, you guys know I follow Candace on Instagram. So the housewives that I follow Candace, I follow Karen, I follow Monique, and I follow Portia. Those are the 4 housewives that I follow on Instagram, right? So Candace posted this screen recording of her Instagram DMs. And there was this one person. This person is actually stalking this girl and harassing her, right? This person just kept going on and on and on. Oprah Winfrey Network is speaking. Join test. Oh, they're doing the one of those those little chat rooms on Twitter. Cool. Where were we at? Yeah, so Candace, she posted that. I mean, this person is an idiot. This person is insane. I even put in Candace's comments like, Candace, you should alert the authorities about this person, because they were talking about if they were a housewife, they would have beat her ass. They called her a rat. They just went, I mean, my mama don't like you. I don't like you. How do y'all get to the point where you don't even know these reality stars like that? Like y'all, some of y'all are so fixated on these reality TV stars that y'all form these opinions and you be like, oh, I hate you. Like, I'm not going to say I hate anybody on reality TV. Can't say that. Do I say I don't like, what I say is I don't like who they are on the television show. That's it. Outside of that, I don't think too much about them, right? Like, you guys know I don't care for Giselle on Potomac, Robin on Potomac. Y'all know I don't care for Kenya on Atlanta. Like, unless you say something truly ignorant, like something about African Americans, LGBT, Jewish, anything like that, unless you say something out of line like that, that is the only way I'd be like, you know what, I can't rock with a person like that. But other than that, I don't know these people from a can of paint, so I'm not going to sit here and go in on them, talk about them, nothing like that. That's just not who I am. That's not how I operate. But to sit here and be in this person's comment, in this person's inbox, and Candace at one point said, I'm tired. Hell, even I was tired. It's just like, y'all are ridiculous. Get a life. Like, do you live in your mama's basement? Get out the basement, baby. Go get a job. Go do something productive with your day and your life. But yeah, let's move on from there. But once again, rest in peace to Chucky Thompson. And to the idiot that was in Candace's DMs, go to hell. All right, you guys. Next up, let's do some divorce talk, right? So let's do some divorce talk, you guys. So the first one that I want to talk about is one that I didn't even know nothing about. So Tashina Arnold, did you guys know that Tashina was even married? I'm gonna keep it real with you. I had no idea that Tashina Arnold was married. But then I started reading and hearing about it that at one point her husband cheated on her, right? Made a sex tape and she sent it to their friends and family. Girl, you did another Garcelle? Boy, wait, you did another Garcelle, huh? Ooh. So she's divorcing her husband. I think they said they've been married since 2013. And once again, like I said, I had no idea that Tashina Arnold was even married. Let me know in the comment section. Did you guys know Tashina was married? Had no idea. Do they have any? I know she has her daughter, but that's not with him, right? I don't believe so. I believe her daughter is from a previous relationship, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Now, the divorce news that I definitely was thrown off by Kenya and Mark. And you guys know Kenya Moore, Mark Daly, Real Housewives of Atlanta, right? So I think it was on Baller. No, this is on the Shade Room that I saw this one. So the Shade Room posted it the other day that Kenya had filed for divorce from Mark. And I was just sitting there like, huh? Kenya filed for divorce from Mark. And I even put in the comments like, haven't we already saw this happen? And then I thought about it. I'm like, wait a minute, but Mark filed for divorce from Kenya, right? And he filed for divorce from Kenya on her birthday, which I thought was fucked up as hell. I don't know what Kenya ever saw in Mark. Because the more The more and more that comes out about Mark, the more you look at Mark and you just be like, Mark is a complete and total asshat. Like, I just don't know what Kenya saw in Mark. Like, I'm just really, really looking at it like, what in the hell did you see in this man? Like, I don't see it. He's an ass. He's a jerk. And he's a social climber, look like it. Because it just seems like, because especially when you know, it came out that he was trying to shop around his own reality show. I'm like, oh, okay, makes sense. But isn't he friends with Chef Roble? So I'm just thoroughly confused like a motherfucker, right? Because that's how Kenya met Mark, was through Chef Roble. I would find Chef Roble and cuss him the fuck out. I would thank him for, giving, I thank him, one, because I have my daughter, but other than that, hell no. Mark is a D-bag. I was about to say it out loud, but he's a D-bag. Like, well, douchebag. Let's just say it. He's a douchebag. Like, the fuck? So then, also, I was reading that in this divorce, which really makes it worse for me, that he's an asshole, right? So he wants half of Kenya's house out there in Atlanta, Moore Manor. And I was like, why? How do you get half of a house? That's the one thing. How do you get half of a house? Like, y'all gonna cut the bitch down the middle? Or does he, she put, like, what is half of her house? I don't think that. Now, that, you guys know, like I said, I'm not a big Kenya fan, but that is fucked up and low as hell, right? Kenya, don't let that man take your house, right? Because Kenya had that house long before they even got married. Kenya bought that. When did Kenya get that house? Which season was that? I know she finally finished the home on season 9 of Real Housewives of Atlanta, but I don't remember when she bought the house, right? That is fucked up. And then he wants sole custody of Brooklyn. Now that is just a dig at Kenya. That's a dig at her. I hope Kenya keeps a house and her daughter. Like, shared custody, have shared custody with the man. But full custody, absolutely not. Kenya, get rid of him. Get rid of that asshole. Let's move on. All right, you guys, and then let's do a little bit of talking about some music, right? So we already discussed the Blueprint EP that came out yesterday. So I just want to talk about it outside of the show, right? So I want to say, once again, I don't think that the Blueprint EP was bad. I want to say that. I don't think it was bad. It's okay. It's just not for me personally, right? So, but I will say on the EP, the one song that I like is Talking. If I had to pick any song from the EP, it's definitely Talking, right? But I mean, also congratulations are in order to them, right? Because they're number 1 on the R&B charts. I did see that this morning that Carlos King posted that they are number 1 on the R&B charts. They're number 1, and number 2 is Tinashe, which I did not know that Tinashe had a song out. Tinashe has a song out. Who else? The Weeknd. Oh God, The Weeknd. Yeah, I just can't with The Weeknd. I'm sorry. If anybody out there likes The Weeknd, so sorry to you, but he's not my cup of tea. He's not my sneeze. He's not my forte. He's not for me. But yeah, so Blueprint, they're number 1. Like I said, the EP is it's okay. It's not like, oh my God, it's terrible, right? It's not terrible. It's good. It's just not something that I think I would ever want to listen to again. I think what they need to do, it was the mix. For me, it's when you listen to the track, you can hear a lot of auto tune in it. For me, I hear it. But I mean, I'm going to say I'm gonna be interested to see if they do make a full album or if they do any other music. What I want for Blueprint is I want them to find out what their sound is, because there were many different sounds on the EP. I want them to find their sound. Well, technically, their sound is Cherish 2.0. And like I said before, I don't necessarily hate Cherish. I don't hate Cherish. I liked Cherish back in the day. It's just the show did not paint the sisters in a positive light for me. I mean, But yeah, the EP is okay. Go check it out, you guys. Then also tomorrow, which is Friday. Well, you guys will see this on Friday, so it'll be today. Now I don't know if this is going to be out at midnight my time in Texas or what, but Cardi B and Lizzo, they have a single that they're going to be releasing today, Friday. It's going to be called Rumors. I'm thinking about this post that I saw last week or the week before, right, about Lizzo. That, what did they say? Did they say that she killed one of her fans when she jumped off the stage onto them, and she was like, "I'm fat, but I ain't that damn fat." Y'all are dead ass wrong. Speaking of, let's go back to Blueprint. Whoever made that fucking picture, because you guys remember we kept talking about why is Pam not on there. Whoever put that picture of the group with a can of Pam on there, you ain't shit. Then let's talk about Kanye West, right? So I did read that Kanye has, because I think Kanye is at the stadium out there in Atlanta, the State Farm Stadium out there in Atlanta, right? So I heard that he's moved from that stadium because he's, continue to work on Donda. Are y'all gonna get that album? Now, see, me personally, I'm not gonna. Let me know in the comment section, are you guys anticipating that album, right? I did see that, the list of people that's featured on. I'm like, God dang, how many songs are gonna be on this album? Now, personally, like I said, me personally, I'm not interested in the Donda album. I don't have any intentions of buying it, not a one. The only song that I would be interested in listening to from Donda is whatever song he's working on with Jay-Z. That's it. Oh God. Like Watch the Throne, that is my album. Like my two favorite songs on Watch the Throne, Ham and Niggas in Paris. Those are my favorite two songs on that album. Like, those are my songs. Like, my cousin's like, the whole entire song. I'm like, yes, I bought it on iTunes. Like, I listened, like when it first came out, I listened to it. I like Hard as a motherfucker. These niggas know who I am. Like, that is my shit. The fuck? That's my shit, right? So yeah, let me know if you guys are going to be listening to Rumors by Lizzo and Cardi B. Let me know if you guys are going to be purchasing, what is it? Donda. And let me know if you guys are listening to Blueprint. And let's move on to some small talk. All right, you guys, and in the small talk, right? So the first thing that I want to talk about is Portia. So Portia has announced that after 8 years, she's going to be leaving the Dish Network. That is the cable provider. She's leaving Dish Nation, where she works on there with Brad, Sherry Shepherd, Rock, what's his name? You guys, I have not listened to the Ricky Smiley Morning Show in so many years. Rock T, is that his name? Something like that. Gary with the T. I said Brad, Sherry, and it's a slew of other people that are on there. I know at one point, I don't know if one of our local stations here in Dallas, Kiss FM, they were a part of the Dish Nation network. They were part of Dish Nation, and it was Kelly Raspberry, it was JC Chavez, it was Big Al Mack, and Jenna Page Owens. But Jenna left a few years ago to pursue her business that she has, I believe. Yeah, I think Jenna left. Now, see, I don't know if they're still a part of it, because, like I said, just like I said, I'm listening to Ricky Smiley anymore. I don't even listen to that because I have satellite radio, so I don't ever. My radio stays on satellite all day, every day. I never go to the FM dial because I used to listen to a radio station here called K104. I don't listen to any local radio stations anymore. Like I said, if I'm not watching YouTube or listening to some songs on my phone, I'm on satellite radio, so I don't know what's going on. But suffice it to say, after 8 years, Portia is going to be leaving the Dish Network, Dish Nation, not network, Dish Nation. What else? So she's doing a lot of stuff, right, We know she has her show that she's doing a spinoff for, which, my bad, y'all, didn't mean to burp in your face, which I did see yesterday that Miss Diane has green screen and she looked amazing. And yes, I will review Portia's show whenever it comes on. And I'm also going to review Candy's show, which I saw a tweet about Candy. I saw either it was a tweet or whatever, but Candy was like, don't compare her show to Vanderpump Rules. But that's all we have to go by, right? And it's not necessarily people comparing your show to Vanderpump Rules. It's just the only thing that we have to go by, right? You're a successful business owner, so now you're going to get a spinoff of your show, your restaurant, and the people that work in your restaurant. So it is Vanderpump Rules-esque, but I get what she means. My show is nothing like what Vanderpump Rules is. I got what she was coming from, right? So yeah, so Portia is, like I said, she's leaving Dish Nation. She's doing her reality. She's doing her own spinoff show. She's engaged to Simon to be married. I don't see that happening. Love me some Portia, but I just don't see that happening. She is her now. See, we don't really know what's going on with the Real Housewives of Atlanta for season 14 because they haven't really said what's going on with the casting, right? I do know that I saw someone talk about Andy, that he talked about the 5 women that were on this past season. So Portia, Kenya, Drew, Cynthia, and Candy, and wants to add one more person to be 6, right? Honestly, I like Cynthia and I love Candy, but what more do they have to show us, right? If Candy has his spinoff show, let's let Candy go off and do her spinoff, right? Cynthia, I just don't know what Cynthia brings. I'm not saying she shouldn't be on the show. I just don't know what Cynthia is bringing to the show at this point. And then the last thing that I want to talk about is that fuck nigga Future, right? Future ain't shit. How do you send your 8-year-old a text message calling his mama a hoe? You called his mama a hoe. She wasn't such a hoe when you fucked her unprotected and had a baby with her. She wasn't that big of a hoe that you stuck your dick in her. Like, I do hate when niggas do that, right? I hate when niggas do that to women. That they be like, oh, she's a hoe after you fucked her, but she wasn't a hoe when you fucked her, right? Like, make it make sense. Future, you the hoe with all these baby mamas that you got. You're the hoe. So then, the baby mama said that, Future said that because she won't sleep with him. I'm like, ooh, you're a smart girl. Don't ever sleep with that nigga ever again in life. Never. And I mean never sleep with him again. Absolutely not. Child, if any woman lay down with Future, y'all need to tell that nigga to go get a test. Get tested. Because you've been with so many women. I'm surprised your dick hasn't fallen off, right? So then his mama came out in defense of him. I'm like, how do you defend that? That's reprehensible. How do you defend that? You need to call your fuck nigga ass son out and say you wrong. It's just that simple. Like, you defend that bullshit. So you would be okay if it would be okay if a man would have called you if his father texts him calling you a hoe. You would be okay with that? I'm like, lady, go the fuck away from me with that bullshit. But that's it, you guys. That's all I got for you for this week. We do this every single week. We do this the same time, the same place, same channel. And as always, you guys, stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Remember to wash your hands. Wear your mask. You guys, please wear your mask. Please, just wear your mask. I'm not even going to say anything about getting vaccinated. Just wear your mask, you guys. I know that they're uncomfortable, but wear the mask. They do help. Like, look at last year. The flu. That was down. So masks do work. Don't listen to what who says. The mask work. But that's it, you guys. Be safe, be blessed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. So I'll see you guys again later for Love After Lockup. All right, you guys. So I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys. Have a good weekend.